Fred, from job applicants to consumers to investors, how does that deliberate design or the culture that you just described shape overall perceptions in a company brand? Can that itself be an asset?
Oh, for sure. There are numerous examples of great businesses that are driven in that way, that deliver great consumer experiences from a retail or an online perspective. But I think that the consumer has gotten very smart about smelling the BS from an organization. If it's not authentic and the business is not delivering on what it says it is, the consumer will find it very quickly. And the old line that, consumers vote with their wallets. I think that's where a lot of these businesses don't understand, being very glib about who you are and how trendy you are or why you're different. If you're not different for a real reason, then you've got nothing. The old cynic idea of, understand the why first, I think is really, really important. And that's from a corporate standpoint, a business standpoint, a consumer and a design standpoint. You can't design it if you don't understand what the why is.
Well, and what I find interesting in the internet day and age, which has been with us for, 30 years or whatever, there is a very interesting dynamic when a company is perceived as not being authentic, not being honest, not treating their own people right. Well, there's a groundswell very quickly that can cost you not only sales, but stock price. Certainly reputational value goes down, but the opposite is the case too. There's a nurse who I follow on Instagram who is a NICU nurse. So she helps with deliveries, all that stuff. And she's just very articulate. And she talks a great deal about how the medical system isn't necessarily designed for the comfort and trust of its patients. It is a very differently designed kind of a beast. But about once a week, she will do this. Okay, don't tell. But I just got cookies from this little bakery in some small town, and they don't have enough followers, and you need to buy their dozen cookies and have them delivered to your house. And there's this immediate groundswell towards the positive. Okay, I don't necessarily have to live in town and go see that bakery to support boredom. So there is a very interesting immediate consequence,
right,
with knowledge in the internet age. Have you guys seen that as well?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for saying it. 30 years plus in the industry. I've seen all kinds of things. 2 examples, I suppose, without naming names. I was part of an organization that had just done a large reorg, downsizing. You all know how that works. And in the same meeting, they offered up to improve culture, to give everybody a feel-good factor, a ping pong table in the story. It's like, did you have any idea what you just said? A ping pong table will buy you nothing. And I think the same is true from back in the day of things like, Pizza Fridays or Donut Mondays, all these kinds of things. Again, staff can see through it. The old saying that culture eats marketing for breakfast, I think that is very true. And I think that sometimes leaders, HR departments, etc., have got to see where the water is flowing first. Understand the culture that you have and where it's going, and then nurture that culture. Don't try and control it. Because if people are already doing their job very well, and the business is growing or the business is successful or numbers are looking good or there might be a slight variance there, then understand that why first and help it along versus coming in with manuals and handbooks. The joke I make about designers is that when they get a corporate identity guidelines, they don't read it. They flick through it, find out the things that they can do that aren't in the manual, and that's where they will head. And that's where the water will flow, least path of resistance, right? And I think culture is exactly the same thing. And that's where management, CEO specifically, has got to nurture that and lead by example. It's a silly example, but I think it's a good example as well. The Fred Fridays are really, really important. Show your own humility and put yourself in a vulnerable situation. Time and again, doing it once is really easy. The thing I've said to designers many times, and I've said on some other podcasts, when it comes to climbing the Mount Everest, if you will, of the design industry, of the global head of, the organizations that I've been fortunate and privileged to have led, I've climbed Everest. I've been to the top and I've come back down. And what a lot of people don't understand about climbing mountains, getting to the top is only halfway. You've got to come back down, and you've got to bring that knowledge with you.